Hello, Price with Healthy Fit. Welcome to today's stretch, mobility, and recovery session. We're going to do a full body SMR special class today, starting with the feet using our Rolga and our activator tool. So any of the exercise I do on the floor, you can choose to do on the wall if you're not getting down the floor or if you just need lighter pressure. We're going to start with the feet and work our way up towards the neck. And I'm going to sit on the floor with my activator, but you can also do this in the chair. So we're going to start with the activator, press, quarter turn and release, working from the heel all the way up towards the toes. If you don't have the tool, you can use your fingers in an X motion to massage out the fascia tissue, using the pressure that feels good to you today. And work your way back down, trying to release any of the tension in this first point of the kinetic chain. Our feet take a lot of stress, so doing SMR, the self-myofascial release on the feet, is really important for mobility and to reduce pain. Let's switch to the other side. Other foot, working our way from the heel up through the arch of the foot and the ball of the foot and back down. All right, working our way up, starting on our shins, and then we'll work back to our calves. So for the shins, I like to use the bumpy part, the handholds of the activator, and just rock down on the left and right side of your shins, releasing any tension there. This is especially good if you've done a lot of walking, hiking, running. That can cause tightness in this area. All right, let's do that on the other leg, on the shins. Other side. Now I'm on both sides of the shin bone. We're not actually on the shin bone itself. All right, now working onto the calf, we are going to press, quarter turn and release, or if you don't have the tool, use your fingers in a massaging, squeezing motion, working down from above the ankle up to just behind the knee, working your way back down all the way around the back of the leg. And it's winter time now, and so I can tell I need some lotion on my legs. With this movement, we're stimulating the blood flow. All right, let's do that on the other side. Working your way all the way around, noticing any tension that you might have. All right, coming to a standing position before we go any further, we're going to do some additional SMR work for the feet using our activator. I like the bumpy side up. If you don't have this tool, any small ball works in a similar fashion. We're going to start by pressing on the ball of the foot, allowing the toes to drop over the front. Lean into it. This is like a trigger point release. The amount of pressure that you put onto the ball is really up to you. Now moving down towards the ball of the foot. Here we can rock side to side or front to back, or just apply that pressure. And then the heel, I feel some tight fascia tissue that maybe feels a little crunchy there. So I'm going to rock side to side to try to break that free. This will prevent problems with pain, Achilles problems and pain, starting at the heel connection. All right, let's do that on the other foot, starting by pressing, wrapping those toes over the front. Lean into it. As we do these exercises, we want to make sure we're taking nice, deep breaths. There's my little foster pup queen. She's not used to being my workout buddy, so like I said, we will see if she can behave during our workout. This activator is not a toy for you. I've had 2 of them chewed up by dogs recently. So don't leave your tools where doggies can get them. Pressing into the heel, rock it side to side, back and forth. If you have any crunchiness. So I don't usually have her in my workout space, so it will be interesting to see if she can behave when I get down on the floor. It's good practice for them. All right. Moving on to our other release. Now we're going to move up to our shins and our calves with the Rolga. Our legs are going to go in these outside valleys. So the nice thing about this design is that your bone is in that valley, and then the muscular tissue that surrounds the bone will be massaged by these little peaks to get a really good release. So I'm going to start by kneeling on the Rolga, finding your balance, and then kind of just rocking back, using your hands to come into almost like a bear position and back. A nice little shin massage. Doesn't that feel nice? All right, let's flip it over to the other side for the calves now. Again, in those same valleys. Come on over here, baby. Good girl. I'm going to start with it down by my ankles, and you can either scoot or elevate yourself, pointing and flexing your toes. You can also cross one leg over the other. Move out of the way. Over the other to get a little bit more pressure on the calves, and the other side. Now we want to make sure when we do this, we're not bringing our shoulder up by our ear. Keep your chest nice and open and wide. Don't steal my slipper. I secured my Rolga, but I didn't secure my slipper. So let's put those out of the way. All right. So we got our shins and calves. Moving on now, we're going to work on our quads, the IT bands, and the hamstrings. So we're going to work our way around the outside of the leg. Again, your legs, when we do these double leg movements, your legs are going to be in the outside valleys. So I'm going to come down onto the Rolga in a forearm plank position and back up, scooting my way, trying to get the puppy out of the way and back. All right, moving towards around the outside of the leg. We're gonna start on one side and do the IT band or the piriformis, because we really don't want to overstretch the IT band, but tightness in this area can cause hip and knee pain. So we're going to use this top valley. Most of your yoga is behind you as you come to a side lying position. Bottom leg is extended, top leg is the pushing leg. Foam rolling the length of your leg with your roga. Using your arms for support. Now this is often a very tight and tender area, so if you find an area that is particularly tender, you can stop and hold the roga on that point, breathe into that space and allow it to release. All right, let's go to the other side. Same thing. The roga's behind you. Arm is supporting the shoulder. Extend that leg. Rolling the length of the leg. Breathing. Picture that muscle relaxing. All right, we're going to roll over to our hamstrings. So the legs are in those outside valleys again. Hands are going to push us up as we roll to the top of our, or the bottom of our butt cheek rather, and back down. Stopping above the back of the knee, because we never want to foam roll those connections on the back side of the knee. So you stop right above. One more. And you're going to roll onto the top of the roga. Your tailbone should be in that center valley, so there's no pressure on that. And we can sit here, lean back slightly, use your hands for support, and cross your leg over. So if you weren't getting down on the floor today, you could do this seated in a hard chair with the roga on the chair seat. I'm going to use my hand here to push on this knee to kind of open up the hip as I do that glute release. And other side. Figure 4. Making sure again that your ankle is on the outside of your leg so there's no pressure on the ankle. I adjusted my hand so it's better under my shoulder. Pressing on the bottom of the thigh to open up the hip. All right. So we did the outside of the leg. We did all the way around except the inside of the leg, the inner thigh, the abductors. So we're going to use our roga. I'm going to place it inside the leg. Again, the top part of my leg, this is the valley that we're going to place it in. Coming down and rolling the leg up towards the psoas or the groin and back. So here I'm kind of side lying and then rolling more into that forearm plank. Let's do that on the other side. place the roll gut in the middle. Okay, get out of the way. Queenie, come over here, good girl. Rolling to the side, and then sideline position. Open and back down. Okay, as we work our way back up the body, we're going to release the psoas now. So the psoas is deep under your adipose tissue or your fatty tissue from your hip bones about 2 inches in on each side, and it wraps around to your lower back. We're going to use the activator for this, placing it on that area and then rolling onto it. So I like to get down on the floor first, place the activator, hold it with your hand, and then just roll onto it. Now this is another one of those releases that might not feel very comfortable. If you feel like you're on your artery that's close by there, make an adjustment. Your bladder is also in that vicinity, so we want to be mindful of that, but apply the pressure that feels good to you. This one is difficult to do on the wall because you have to be so close to get a good result. You can rest your hands on the mat and place your forehead there, just relaxing and breathing into that space. Nice deep breaths. All right, come off of your activator. I'm gonna flip over, but that's not necessary for you. I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Again, lying on your side with your hand here, here, or here, it doesn't really matter. Activator on that psoas. Again, it's about 2 inches away from your hip bone, rolling onto that space. Now it doesn't feel quite right there, so I'm going to adjust it slightly till I get the right spot. Hands in front. I'm going to rest my forehead and take some nice deep breaths. All right, roll off. Moving up through the back. Your spine is always going to be in this middle valley, and this design again will massage the muscles and release them along the spinal column, which feels amazing. So set your roll gut on the floor, starting at the lower back, supporting our head, space under your chin, roll it all the way up, scooting down your mat towards your upper shoulders and back. And back down. One more time to the top. Now this time when you come to the top, I want you to just rest on your roll gut to massage the occipital where your neck connection to your head. You should feel the roll gut hitting some areas that typically have tension there. Nice deep breath. All right. Roll off of the Rolga. Set that aside. Taking your activator again, we are going to target any areas of tension in your upper back and shoulders. So place the activator down. Again, I like the bumpy side up, and then roll onto it. If you don't get the area quite right, you can adjust it. Breathing into that space. All right, make an adjustment, moving into another spot. Nice deep breaths. Breathing into that space. All right, moving to the opposite side, because we don't want to be crooked. Picture that muscle relaxing as you fully breathe, sending oxygen to the muscle. And moving to another area. Nice deep breaths. We've got one more area that we are going to do some release, our lats. So it's our lats run along our rib cage here, and so we're going to start at the bottom of our rib cage and roll all the way up to the armpit. Just like we did with our leg, our rib cage is going to be in this valley, and we're going to keep most of the Rolga behind you. I'm going to start at the armpit. This hand here is just for support as we roll and kind of scoot. If you find a tense area, because this is another muscle that we typically have over tight muscles from our posture and our daily living activities, you can hold the Rolga like I am in the position. Breathe into that space until you feel it release. Got a good knot there. Rocking it a little bit. There we go. All right. And other side. Now, if you find that you are super tight and you're having a hard time relaxing and releasing some of these muscle groups, an option that you have when you do this on the replay is to take a nice warm Epsom salt bath before your SMR session to help relax all of your muscles, and that will facilitate a better release. That was actually a suggestion by my massage therapist. It works just as good when you go to if you're going for a massage, if your muscles are really tight. Take that bath before you go to get everything loosened up to make it a more effective session. So we've hit all of the major muscle groups that we typically have tension in. We're gonna finish with our arms here, our tricep, bicep area, using the Rolga. So I have my arm flat and I'm rolling here. And depending on how you lean on the Rolga, if I'm leaning back, I'm gonna hit more tricep. If I lean forward, I'm gonna hit more bicep. Let's do that on the other side. I just realized we didn't do the pecs, so we'll do that as our finisher. Breathing. That feels really good. All right, pectoralis muscles, we're hitting the meaty part of our chest here. These muscles, if they're tight from our posture, they're typically going to cause back pain, upper back and shoulder pain. So we want to make sure we release those. My Rolga is upright on a table or on the floor. You can hold it for support and place it on the pectoralis, nice and high on the chest, and little circles here. Other side. And relax. Thank you for joining me today for a special SMR session using our Rolga tools. I hope you feel all loose and limber. Our next class is the relaxation yoga. Now that we're all stretched out and our muscles are extended, we can get a good range of motion and continue the recovery and healing process.